What's up, guys? Koma here, and today we have new Splitgate news. So today we got brand new official gameplay reveal trailer, where they flew out some content creators such as Scump, there's Aspen, Macy J, Grim, Timmy, and a few other content creators that I don't know all of them personally, but they flew them out and they got us some gameplay. Yesterday they actually put out some clips of them teasing a lot of the gameplay, and today we actually got some gameplay. So I have it pulled up here in my own video kind of like thing here. So I'm gonna go and throw this into full screen, and I'll kind of break down some notable stuff here. And instantly on the first screen, we already have a gun name. Like literally frame one, we have a gun name, and this is the Quantum. So this is actually the weird weapon that I previously thought was the sniper or the railgun, when in fact is a burst carbine style like marksman rifle. So it takes note of like similar to that of like the BR from Halo, or of course the battle rifle from Splitgate 1. For the sake of this, I'm just muting it. I'm not really recording desktop audio. I'm just really breaking down what we see. And you can see that we have Eros, we have a bunch of this, and then we get our first look at some little actual gameplay here. So number one, it's worth noting that this UI is completely changed from the last video I did where the UI was not final. This is closer to what the final UI will look like. So you can see here where my mouse is. Whoever is playing this on controller is playing Sabrask, and they have the shield. So when you press these two buttons, this will activate your shield, and this will drain over time to kind of show like how low your shield actually will be. So he throws it down. It almost comes out immediately, and it's worth noting that you can basically shoot while this happens as well. So you can shoot and do all the different stuff as this goes on. And we actually get the name for this little pistol here, which is known as the Slinger. It has only 10 rounds in it, and I believe this thing shoots basically like the Halo, I want to say Halo 5 Magnum. I don't know if it's going to be as strong as the CE Magnum, but precision is really everything with this. Additionally, yes, the portal is on a singular key. We have information that does say from Rockjaw, one of the community members from 1047, that says you can swap between the legacy Splitgate 1 portal system, where you have two separate buttons for your portals, or you'll have this modernized version where if you set down your portal, it'll swap to the other color, and you can set down that one and it'll swap back. It also basically enforces you to swap to the other portal color if you step through the portal, which we can see later. As well as we have these, this is throwables. We kind of covered this at the other one. I figured it was throwables, and it seems like I was correct. But we see a few new ones in here and see how some of them actually function. And we'll actually get to see this little carbine over here function as well. It's also worth noting that they also have these health bars at the side of the screen that basically tell you, what your teammates are running. As you can see the faction logos, and you can see your health, and of course Macy J right here is taking some damage. So we continue on. He steps through his own barrier here, which is really noteworthy because this isn't like a solid wall. Previously, we never saw Rhinoc like walk through it at all, but he just steps through it, and you can kind of see that weird interesting like zoom effect that we have on these guns. Not all guns really zoom. It reminds me a little bit of Halo Infinite's zoom, where they just kind of like fire it from the hip, but it like magnifies just a tiny bit, not really affecting the gun's accuracy at all. And then you can kind of step out, and they step out, and you can kind of see some of the other gameplay. Here we see a little bit of that very interesting carbine that we saw earlier, and yes, it is a carbine. It's called the Cadence, and you can see some other ability stuff going on here. We have the Q, which we'll actually see later, but it's like a speed boost. And then on G, it seems like this, I think, is the shock disc, but we actually don't see the shock disc in gameplay here. So that might be something they are going to be showing later. So it looks like Timmy, who's playing, drops in and starts shooting these Rhinoc players, and the 2-hit melee has returned. So to be able to get a one-shot melee kill, you'll need momentum to kill. And then we see Scump here playing Rhinoc, and he's using the Warden scout rifle. His barricade's already gone, so you can see it slowly recharging there. And then we have his little sticky grenade. So these things actually stick targets. They take a little bit of time to actually kill. So you'll see him often using that. You can see now soon after he gets detected by someone from Meridian, and he's actually got a grenade kill out of that. It's also worth noting that this mode is completely, it's not brand new, but it's been changed quite a bit. So for most people who are familiar with Hot Zone, this is Hot Zone, but they've kind of tweaked it to where it now really plays a little bit with Takedown, and I'll talk about that later. But you can see this 20 seconds. I think this is the base, like, respawn, I believe. So for example, it's 20 here, and then if he gets a kill while someone is at 14 seconds, you can see the time drops here. And he's kind of really trying to space himself away from the enemy a little bit, and trying to really try and capture the zone. And you can see that he actually wins this gunfight, and we actually get gameplay of that carbine. It really looks like it hits hard. It looks like it's 2 to 3 shot, maybe, to the body. I can't really tell. And then we get some... they cut around to the different content creators, so here's some Portal gameplay. As you can see, he throws down this portal, and throwing down a purple and stepping through it immediately shifts that portal icon down at the bottom right over to the next needed portal. So, as you can see here, so he has orange set up, and then he shoots down orange, it swaps to purple, he sets down purple, it swaps to orange, and then when he steps through, it swaps back to purple. So this is the modernized system. I don't think there was anyone using the legacy system in this like trailer. And you can see also he has the barricade wall as well, and goes ahead and cleans up the enemy there. Now, this is the SMG that we saw Bolt holding in one of the screenshots, and this is, I would believe, one of the primary weapons for arrows. So Methods is here, and he's going to show off something really cool, which I'm really excited for. But first of all, it's worth noting that this down here is a little stem. We'll see, I think it's Timmy later utilize that, because it's kind of obvious on what it does. I mean, it's exactly what it looks like. It's just a stem. You inject it, and then it regens some of your health. And then of course you have the speed boost. So he's just killed Macy J, and he's reloading his gun, and he's really wanting to catch up the Scump here. So what he'll do is he'll slide off this ledge and be able to carry a little bit of that momentum with that little ramp slide, and basically be able to clean up the kill to kind of aid his allies in some suppression, which is a really cool movement tech, which I expected something like this to happen, but we'll see like a bigger example of this later on. So going on to the next thing, we actually see this clip here. It's very hard to kind of get a good look at it. Okay, so I went ahead and opened up a screenshot of this because I couldn't zoom in on the software that I was actually using. But we can zoom in on this, and we can probably read it a little bit easier. So as we can see, it's a Meridian. There's a little description of Meridian, and you kind of see some of the names that we have for the testers. And of course, we have Hypersight right at the top, where it basically reveals enemies through walls, and supposedly this is like the entire map, by the way. So even if people are just respawning, they will still be marked, even if they're respawning in the middle of Hypersight's thing. And then it says team trait here, which goes to seem to imply that these factions or characters of some sort will have some sort of trait that goes along with them. Um, so basically, Meridians is wellness, where it regenerates health faster for you and your allies, which is very interesting. I don't know how the hell those are going to function, and it makes me a little bit worried. But we'll go down here, and you can see Mira as the selected character. We can see the Quantum Battle Rifle, which you can kind of see right underneath it. It's very blurry, but I would assume that says uh, battle rifle or burst rifle. Maybe it's burst rifle. It looks more like burst. I can't see battle. And then you can see these two things here, which, yes, they are probably attachments. We see the Helios, which is the light pistol, and it has also one attachment slot. There's the health grenade, and then there's these two things here, which I'm going to assume are perks of sorts. So you get and one and I for equipment. And I believe this is Scump's head. I could be totally wrong, but you can see Hot Zone and Ozone being played right there. I have no clue what this giant purple thing is. Maybe it's like a ready or lock in button. So yeah, very interesting screen. I really hope these attachments don't do too much to gameplay. So going back to the trailer, we actually see this rifle in play. Now the audio isn't here, but I highly recommend actually watching this gameplay, because this battle rifle or this burst rifle actually I think has the original battle rifle sound effects from Splitgate 1. I could be totally wrong. Someone could definitely correct me on that. But I was hearing some like Splitgate 1 like burst sound effects here. So as you can see, they completely get rid of whoever that was, and then it swaps back to methods, playing as Sabrask here, throws down a shield, turns around, and actually sticks someone with this grenade, and they explode. So these are like 100% sticky nades. It seems like the fuse takes a little bit longer than, you know, a Halo sticky grenade. And then they immediately go towards actually showing off arrows. So they're fast, agile, and portal masters. Now, I think Timmy is one of the main reppers of Eros, and as you can see, he has his ability completely active here. So this basically means that he gets a small overshield of sorts, or like an overflow of health, as I don't think shields are like longer a thing, or like were a thing at all. So we don't have shields; it's just a health pull. And you can see that he's actually used one of his throwables, but we won't know what that throwable is. And he's setting down some portal to go ahead and close it. So you can close your portal, and you can actually see that really sick reload. I love that reload so much. From the cadence, you know, flick out the mag, really cool. And then he's explaining a little bit about Eros. And then it goes to Macy J, who is also part of Eros. And you can see that he basically flanks behind Rhinoc here to basically get the drop. And then you can see that we actually get gameplay of what this ability allows you to do. So basically, your gun drops to the side. And actually, this gun has 55 in the magazine, as you can see. So this has some type of like magazine perk on it, maybe. Now, I'm curious to know if whether or not that has a downside. So maybe his reload is slower, but he has more mags size or something. So I don't know in that regard. But right here, he's actually using his Q, which is his like main ability. As you can see, Grim gets this overshield, and now he has the speed boost. And here's some cool stuff, and this is something that you only get to see really here, as most of the time these portals are kind of like not too visible. He sets this portal down and it glows orange, and then he sets this next one down and the portal glows purple, and then it goes back to orange when he uses his next one. So therefore you can actually see, you know, what's going on. Also, this map is indeed the Hall of Fame map, so my name is actually right there, which is really cool to see my, like, the Hall of Fame straight up in a map. So, you know, I'm kind of like cemented into this map, which is really cool. But yeah, this little area is an entire map. As you can see, he slides, portal, and there's like an upper ledge or something. As you can see, you get more speed gameplay of the Sprinter SMG. And here's the sick slide that Grim does. So I'm gonna assume this is in the Apex Legends side of things, where if you slide on a slope, you're gonna get increased momentum as you go down the slope. So as you can see, slide, slide off, slide, and really you can jump to preserve that momentum a little bit. Especially with arrows being how fast they are, really allows them to pick up some quick speed. And as you can see right there at the end of this clip, he pops a stem, and then he's already almost ready for the next gunfight. Then it goes to Meridian, who is actually healers and spotters, so they do two simultaneous things, as they're more of the support group. So I think it cuts straight to Aspen, and it has some Aspen gameplay. Aspen will pop Hypersight, and it'll target literally anyone on the map. As you can see, Timmy's all the way, I would assume, just respawning over on the right side of the screen, and two people have been spotted here. And then we get this BR again, which is actually a really sick BR. I can't lie, I love this BR. And then throws down this healing grenade. So this thing is, from what I saw of the two different clips or I think there's like 2 or 3 clips now. I think this is used multiple times. You throw it down and it'll regen a chunk of health rather than regen your health over time. This is something Halo Infinite does with its medical field, whatever they call it, where it'll do chunks of health rather than just regenning to keep the balance there in the game for a little bit. And then yeah, this is actually a grenade, so you can throw this down as long as you have your grenades. So she has one more here, and the grenade goes off, and Scump is low on health. Throw down another one, and you can see it replenishes just a chunk. And then it cuts to Enable here, actually using the Synapse assault rifle. I assume this is an assault rifle, but this is probably also the rifle that we see FaZe use in the cinematic trailer, because it would only make sense a little bit. There's a chance this couldn't be, but it just would make sense on the way that this gun fires. So kills Rhinoc here, and you can see that it's like a battery of sorts that you need to like change out. And then you see some more of the Hypersight. This Hypersight's distance is extreme, where you can kind of see, everyone on the map. There really is no limit to who you can't see. And then as you can even see health bars through the map, and it's like insane. So this time dome is interesting. Initially, when we saw it in the trailer, it just slowed enemies who actually stepped in the radius. But it does more than just that. When you step into it as a friendly ability, you get a fire rate boost, and I think it's a movement speed boost. But if an enemy steps into it, it's the opposite effect. So if an enemy steps into it, they have slower fire rate and they have slower movement. As you can see, this gun is like now shredding through its ammo. And you can kind of see that they use it as this like offensive like boost of sorts. And you can kind of see just how absolutely like crazy some of these guns GTKs are. As you can see, they're kind of using, dome v dome there, and really kind of catches the other Meridian off guard, and then cutting to Sabrask, which Scump seems to be a big rep of Sabrask. And you can see here that this is actually a shotgun. Now, I don't know, or we don't know, if this is a pickup or if this is a loadout weapon. If this is a loadout weapon, chances are my assumption was correct, that the weird rifle that we see Mira pick up in the cinematic trailer is indeed a shotgun. I figured it was, but it's hard to tell right now, as we don't know if he can pick this up or if this is something just in the loadout. But Scump displays something here that is really unique. He throws this nade, and he baits them into basically rushing him, and he throws down his barricade here and then shoots simultaneously. So you can fire as you're throwing down any ability or something of sorts. And you can see more grenades, and the grenades actually stick to surfaces, which, unlike Halo plasma grenades, will bounce off of surfaces. This will just straight up stick to a surface, and apparently they're really hard to see. I haven't seen any grenade indicators, so there's no grenade indicators at all in this game. So you just really got to keep an ear and eye out. But basically, just explodes one person and then follows up with the second with the pistol. And then going on into a little bit of gameplay with the Warden here from Scump. He's used his abilities already, so he's just going to fly in and do nothing, apparently. I didn't know they cut it like that. Coming into another one of these points, Methods is going to throw down this shield. And you can kind of see that you're just able to just chill behind this for a little while. And you can see just how fast this thing deploys and how absolutely strong this little pistol is. Like, it is the equivalent 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 shots, just about. I think that's just about the equivalent of the Halo CE pistol, because it's 5 shots to 6 shots. And you can see the shotgun a little bit more at work. Obviously, it's a bit weak, which is what a lot of people assume would be a loadout weapon. So it's not too crazy. I think they still show some more. So they show some more barricade stuff, and then it cuts to kind of just rounding out the entire trailer. So right here, they're really talking like strategic elements of the game, like, you know, healing, you know, taking control over point, etc. And this is a big point of Splitgate 2, right? They want people to play strategically with their factions and their portals and everything and their rollouts. So they're discussing, and then immediately it starts the countdown, and you can kind of see, you know, the UI again. And you can see the point actually has a timer. So this is Hot Zone. And basically the way Hot Zone works is that this point will always be active. It does not move. It'll stay there until someone caps it. The twist here is that this is a round-based mode. As you can see, it's round 4. So if you stand on the point, it'll progress the point. If the point is progressed to a point where it's close to being capped, and if you step off, so for example, you can see the enemies are capturing here, and they're using this SMG, which is the Split Stream, by the way. This is the SMG that Bolt uses in the trailer. You can see him clear this point, and the point goes yellow. Now, when the point goes yellow, this means no one is standing on it. This effectively means that someone could take over this point, but this point will not lose progress. So you can step on, take the point as your own, and it'll give you a singular score up at the top here, so for your team. This way, it's kind of like, it's a risk reward, right? If you have a power weapon, you can risk your life going in and trying to clear the point, but you're also rewarded for, you know, obtaining the point in your own terms and trying to cap it. But if you fail at defending and you're close to capping, this means the enemy team can come in. So once this point is captured, you get a singular round point, and then it rotates to the next point, and then first team to 2 points for the round. Basically, it goes on to the next round. So I would assume it's a best of 5, so you need 3 rounds to win in total. And you can kind of see here some split stream gameplay. Beforehand, we can actually see the little blink sidearm. Very hard to catch right here. So this is the little sidearm that we got the very beginning whenever we first even got to see Splitgate 2. So this is the arrow sidearm, and it's called Blink. And you can see it just for a few frames before they swap to split stream and just start mowing down whoever's on point. And we get some nice cinematic shots, more split stream stuff here. And then this is actually really cool. A lot of us didn't notice this at first, but I noticed it as they were going through here, and we were kind of breaking it down. I was with Code Phoenix and River, and when you fly through these like fins almost, you can see the confetti raining down, but as you go through, you can see confetti being thrown out by the audience, and you can see the BR just absolutely ripping through enemies. Just some absolute like shredding capabilities. And you can see they win this round, and it's round 1. So this is 1 of 5, and this is Hot Zone. So So that's the end of the trailer, but quickly I want to go back through and I want to find this here. So, as they're discussing this and they're waiting for the countdown to end and they're being ready for the game. So 3, 2, 1, 0, and then stop. Okay, so first of all, the weapons here are actually on a timer. As you can see, this actually is split stream. So split stream is considered a power weapon. I'm not sure what that means as a whole and how strong it is, especially between the two modes. Yes, you're basically firing two guns, but at the same time, it's one gun, which is a really bizarre aspect of a power weapon. And then we have the foo bar, which the foo bar, I think we've kind of only connected the dots to be the Sabrask rocket launcher we saw in the cinematic trailer and a few of the screenshots, because these seem like the only two power weapons that we have seen throughout anything so far. So, and yeah, you of course you see some of the split stream. As you can see, you could just mow down enemies with it as long as you're good at aiming with it. And then of course you get some some cinematic shots of pretty old Zenith on Venus. And this is the rainforest section. And this is looks like Frontier, I would assume. And then we get some Ozone, cut back to Ozone for the rest of the gameplay. And that is that. Some very pretty game, by the way. I love how like vibrant this game is so far. They really haven't missed on the visuals. There's something about this game that really just something. It reminds me of something. I want to say Titanfall, but Titanfall is definitely not it. But yeah. Going on August 14th, we are going to be able to watch something related to the game live. We don't know what it is. I'm going to assume it's more of just gameplay, so you can see more stuff that's going on, within the game itself. So, with that in mind, I think that is the end of the video. So I'm really interested to see, where this game goes and how they decide to really portray the game and just see how everything works. The UI is clean. I like the gameplay. But it's a lot to try and understand. So overall, very interested to see, like what they're going to be doing on August 14th, and not to mention what they're going to be doing on Gamescom, and so on and so forth. Really excited for the movement, like the slide. Yeah, I love that slide. That slide's so sick. And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna call it there. It's kind of a much longer video. I have a little bit of editing to do, but nothing I can't really handle. So if you guys enjoyed the video, you can always like it. You can always comment to see, what you found the most interesting section of this entire trailer is. And you can always subscribe and hit the bell for other news about Splitgate 2. I will be hopefully watching whatever they're doing live on August 14th. I don't think I'll be watching it live, but maybe I could probably collaborate with Phoenix and whoever else decides they want to hop in and see what is going on. So with that said, thank you all for watching up to this point. I know a very long video, but I'm glad you guys came along with the ride and basically watched me break down, what I could of this trailer. So with that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.